Hi, it's Michael from Culture Talk and Tours, and today I'm taking a day trip into the desert again, this time along the coast. Muscat, the capital of Oman, is in the north, and I am first traveling to the Bimmah Sinkhole, which is about 90 kilometers southeast of the capital. Afterwards, I will be going to the Wadi Shab, which is a popular day trip from Muscat. So this trip, you can see the mountains are quite different from the trip into the desert to go to see Nizwa Fort, because there are lots of rivers and valleys in this area. You can also see more vegetation. Again, not a lot of houses, not a lot of traffic. Once you get out of Muscat, it's quite an easy drive. We were greeted at the sinkhole by a beautiful view of the mountains and a herd of camera-shy goats. You can see the sea in the distance. It is only 600 meters away. It's a short walk through a park to get to the sinkhole, and there were flowers and date palms. The sinkhole itself, as told by locals, was caused by a meteorite, but was in fact caused by groundwater eating away at the limestone rocks. It is 50 meters by 70 meters wide and 20 meters to 300 meters at its deepest point. It's always good to get to the sinkhole early so you can have the area to yourself. When I got there, there were a few other people. You can swim. There's a long stairway down to the sinkhole, and you're full of energy and excitement to get to the water, but it's a long climb back up. I was most surprised to see that there were fish in the sinkhole because it is so far away from the sea. I did not go for a swim, but my cameraman did, and it was quite cool, and it was beautiful to see the reflection off of the rocks around the sinkhole. And the view from the water, you can see how big the sinkhole is and the shape with the sky above. So once I climbed up these stairs again, it was back on the road to Wadi Shab. So it was back on Highway 17 to Wadi Shab. Wadi in Arabic means dry riverbed. Wadi Shab means gorge between two cliffs. Once we arrived, we had to take a boat across the river, and this river leads into the sea. It's only about a 5-minute trip. It takes you to the other side. You can see that the mountains go right to the water, and there's no other way to start your hike. Wadi Shab is again one of the most popular day trips from Muscat and one of the most famous tourist sites in Oman. It is 140 kilometers southeast of Muscat, near the town of Tiwi. The hike is supposed to take between 45 minutes to an hour, but there's so many things to see, you find yourself stopping to take pictures, like of this cute donkey at the beginning of the hike. So we were walking through some date trees and some banana trees. It's quite easy at the beginning of the hike. You can see there's a few structures and some farming going on. We also saw the little canals that we saw in other parts of the desert that's used as an irrigation system to bring water to different parts that don't have direct access to the river. It was the dry season, so you can see the riverbed is very dry here, but there is still vegetation. Here's the irrigation system. the trail to the final destination, which is a waterfall inside of a cave, is mostly well marked. Here you can see some farmers. This is the first pool. Okay, so we are at Wadi Shab today, one of the rivers that leads to the ocean, and we're just walking through the caves right now to get to the pools. You can see behind me there's one pool here. So this part of the hike, you're hiking through these caves from the cliff tops. You're nowhere near the water, but you do have to be careful because there isn't really any kind of railing to stop you from falling into the river. Again, beautiful views. You're stopping to take photos, another donkey. And you can hear water the whole time, so you know that you're in the right direction because there's running water somewhere. It's advised that you wear some sort of hiking shoe that can be wet because you're going to be walking through the water soon, and also that you are covered up because it is very sunny. We had to jump across a few rocks. Here again is the irrigation system, and this is when the trail wasn't so well marked, but you knew what direction to go. Again, now you're seeing some shallow water that we had to walk through, and we're getting ready to get to the second pool. Again, here's the irrigation system that's bringing water to those farmers at the beginning of the hike. Now we're getting closer to the river. Still not very many people. It's still early in the morning, but again, very hot and dry. Now we're climbing over bigger rocks and coming up to the second pool. Now it's time to get in the water and swim towards the cave that has the waterfall. So here you can see I'm swimming. It's very deep and there's nothing really to hold on to. The sides are very slippery with algae and there's reeds growing. It's filled with fish. So you swim as far as you can, and then it gets shallow again and you can walk. You can see a ledge here that you can jump off. This is my cameraman jumping in the water, and it's very deep and you're working your way towards the last cave. I had a waterproof bag with cameras and ID and money and everything in it. And you're just swimming towards it. This is at the very end, and there's a small opening towards the cave. You actually have to go in sideways, and only your head is above water. When it is rainy season, you would have to just kind of dive under. When I got there, there was a young girl that was having kind of a panic attack because it's a very cramped space to get through, and there's no way to pass other people. So if people are coming through, you have to wait for them to go through. So finally the coast was clear and I made my way through. So the other side of this big boulder is a cave. It does open up to the sky in some parts. You can see here how narrow it is. And you can hold on to the rock to pull yourself through. You can't really swim because you're hitting the rock. Your legs are free, but your shoulders and arms are not. And then once you get through, you can see the waterfall. And there's the skylight to the sky as well. It's a pretty big cave. And there's the look of relief after leaving the cave. So my day trip to Wadi Shab was probably the highlight of my trip to Oman. Such an amazing experience and a fun adventure. If you have time, you must take the trip to Bimmah Sinkhole and Wadi Shab. See you on the next episode.